Welcome back. I was running to a town and found a cluster of cars, and I figured there would be some scrap metal in them. So that was proven to be correct, so I'm going to pick this up. We now have some scrap. Let's check this last truck real quick. More scrap. Any clothing that you have, unless you really want to wear it. I mean, you could even shred the clothing you're wearing if you really, really wanted to. But you'll lose out on some storage space, so I wouldn't recommend it. So like, if you find any sort of shirt or pants or whatever laying around, unless you really need it, just go ahead and shred it. You need lots of cloth for a whole bunch of different stuff. It's worth doing. Oh, we don't need to do that. This discovery, always play around with this discovery mode. Anytime you find something new, just throw it in there and see if you can find a recipe for it. There's hundreds of recipes in this game, and you pretty much need to know them all eventually. Right now we're seeing what scrap metal will give us. Scrap metal won't give us nothing. It did, however, give us where's that metal shard? You want to have some of these because this is going to make nails. And wait, that's not the metal shard. Where'd the metal shard go? There you go. That's going to make nails eventually. I mean, like I said, there's hundreds of recipes, but we'll find them eventually. The nails you need when you're building your fort or a backpack, which is in this case what I'm holding out for. And you have to have them for everything, so it's a good recipe to have. I don't have any gloves, so why don't I go ahead and make some cool little fingerless gloves, and you know, I'm not sure if it counts as armor, but it doesn't hurt, right? So we'll just do it anyways. It doesn't appear to show up on your screen, but they're on there anyways, and if it gives us some armor, we'll certainly won't turn that down. Don't want some wood. I repaired my axe, so it's about full now. And whenever you see those weapon kits, make sure you keep your axe really, really high. I was about 2,900 when I repaired this up. So in a second, we'll see how much that does. Oh yeah, it was about 80. So you do get quite a few whacks out of an axe, but you never know when you're going to find that next repair kit. So it's nice to keep it as full as possible. And there's just really no reason not to. Once that's full, if you have an extra one laying around, you could go ahead and do whatever with it. Me personally, though, I like to keep my axe as full as possible. And if you're just joining us in right now, this is H1Z1, and it's in the early alpha stages, so it is a little crude, but it's quite an enjoyable game, and I'd highly recommend you check it out. Me personally, I think the fun factor for the amount of money that you spent is not really that bad. We're making some nails just to keep constantly playing around with our recipe finder and see what we can make, and right now there's nothing else we can get out of that, so let's see. Oh, what's this? What's this one? Barbed wire. I mean, like, all this stuff like barbed wire and the barricades, and like, you could barricade a house if you really wanted to. The problem with that is, yeah, it'll stop the zombies, but any player can get in there. In a little while, I can show you the fort building. Who's that? Where's that? I hear somebody coming. Alright. Well, you're going to laugh really hard, but this is the combat in this game. Like I said, bear in mind this is the beginning stages of this game. So it's not going to be the smoothest experience that you've ever played in your life. And I did take a little damage, but I'm not bleeding, so that's okay. I'm more concerned with my thirst, honestly, which will probably go ahead and jack up those blueberries that we ate, or that we saved. Even if you can't find a well, there's always a million blueberries throughout this game. When this game was first made, the running joke was it's a berry picking simulator. because your thirst and stuff went down so fast that basically all you had time to do was to go around and gather blueberries and eat them. Or blackberries, sorry, my bad. They changed that a lot, and it drops a lot slower. It still drops, I would say probably a lot faster than it should. But we just had about 10 berries or so, and it brought us up to 71%. So it's not too bad, and like I said, they're all over the place. You will find them everywhere, even if you can't find a well or whatever. You can always find blackberries somewhere, so they'll keep you on your feet. Eventually, you'd want to have a little area that you're going to scavenge, and you'd want to do a few dew collectors set up. So then you just really don't have to worry about it. But that takes a little bit into the game. You have to have more supplies, and we're still in the very early stages of this. This character just started, and when you have nothing in the car, it doesn't help. Like I said, unfortunately, it is kind of crappy to get around in. It does take a while to run around. I'm not sure when they're adding cars that are readily available, but I'm sure they'll do it sometime. They are in Battle Royale. And if you just turn this on, we're on the PvE server. They're PvE, PvP, and Battle Royale. But it's worth playing, and if you don't mind running around, you know, you'll have some fun doing it. Especially if you put it on PvP, and then you got to worry about players messing with you, which they most certainly will. I mean, I'm sure one person will probably want to be your friend, but the other 10 you meet probably won't. People just get to do whatever they want in a video game, and they're very seldom interested in cooperating. Most of the time they just want to kill everything that moves. So, you know, it'd be best to find some friends to play this with, and in the coming months and years after they really polish this game, and I think it'd be quite an enjoyable experience to run around and survive against zombies with your friends and, you know, troll some new players and stuff like that. But that's going to take a while. So if you do drop the money on this, just be aware that it is a rough game that they're still working on. But it is fun to play, and, you know, you'll eventually get it done. So I'm thinking about possibly stopping this. Just because I have no idea when I'm going to get to the next town. You know, and we're just running out here with the deers right now. And we're going to probably stop at every little broken derelict car that we see to see if there's any scrap metal. You need tons of scrap metal and tons of wood. Once you have the axe, or wood's taken care of, you can chop down any tree that you want to. I highly doubt you can do telephone poles. I've never tried. In addition to zombies and other players, there are violent wildlife running around, other than just deer. And there's a bear hopping up and down over there. Yeah, this isn't a game that really works or anything at all. You have to look out for the bears and wolves and stuff, because they will come chew on your face, and they're a little tricky to kill. And if I piss off that bear, you will see how tricky. If you've been watching my health during this whole thing, you'll see that it does eventually recuperate. It was at 88 and it's now at 93, and I have done absolutely nothing to fix that up. So if you let it go, unless it's on a hardcore server, obviously, which that is a game type, it's one of the rule settings. It's not a server type, but it is something that you check. And then your health will not regenerate. You have to heal yourself. Unless you're bleeding, which will require a band-aid, your health will eventually get all the way full. So half the time I just don't even worry about it. That's when you're out in the sticks, of course. The zombie count is a little on the low side, I would say. Just running around out here in the sticks like this. I mean, we saw, what, one zombie so far? That's not really much of anything. Hopefully this is a town that we're coming up on, so we can get the rest of our scrap metal. I can show you some base building stuff before we call this look at H1Z1 done. And, you know, obviously if there's stuff that they add that's smoother, I'll make another video of it, but that's a good start. This is actually my first video that I've ever made. So be gentle and stay tuned for other games. I play consoles and PC, so I'll have some other videos up for people to watch, and hopefully you enjoy them. And you know, feel free to follow my channel and keep an eye on what projects I'm working on. I love gaming and would love to show someone who hasn't seen a game that they could check out. You know, maybe they'll have some fun if they never heard of it. Oh, come on. How's there nothing on that? Like any sort of scavenging platform, there is room for disappointment. You know, what I check 3 cars and there was nothing there. So you will be clicking on a lot of cars and running through houses, and sometimes you'll find stuff, and other times you'll just strike out. Let's see what we have. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of a cold here. Let's see what position we're in. We're in C6. So we are... Oh boy, we ran off in the middle of nowhere, I think. So we would have to go this way if we want to go to the main town. When you're on a PvP server, that's probably not where you want to be. Because in addition to the numerous zombies that you will run into, you'll also run into a lot of people. That is the Pleasant Valley is the main town, and that is the concentration of people and the concentration of forts. Like I said, you can build a lot of forts. Like this is actually somebody's fort. I'm hoping they change that a tiny bit, because as it is right now, you can just build a fort and then run off and build another one, and then another one, and another one, and another one. So eventually this whole server just fills up with forts. So that's kind of ridiculous. They do deteriorate after a while, but in my opinion, they really should make it so that you can either have a limited amount of stuff built at one time, or like in the case of like building a fort, maybe you have to be in some sort of clan or something and you tag team it. So like if you want to build a shack, you only need 1 person, but if you want to build a fort, you need to be in a group of 5 or whatever, just something like that, just so there's not forts every place. And I mean, in my mind, it's a little silly that 1 person can just build a fort, because there's no way that someone could build a fort and defend it all by themselves. But that's just me. I mean, obviously, it's not my game. I'm not making it. And only time will tell what the finished product is like. This area looks really promising for some scrap metal, though. Let's see what we can get here. And if you're just joining us, we're looking for the supplies so we can do the base building aspect of this game. Which you need a lot of wood, which is easily obtained from all the trees, and you need a lot of scrap metal, which is obtained from wrecked cars mostly. I'm not sure if we're just striking out or if people already came here and went through everything. I'm really bummed out if it's been stripped clean, though. It's looking like it's been stripped clean. But stuff regenerates eventually, so it'll get filled back up even if they did. I might have to just wait until I find some and get back with you guys. Is there anything here? What do you know? Someone's having a sleeping bag in here. Okay. Nothing. This sucks. Okay, I think I'm going to actually pause this. You know, I guess there's one of 2 ways you could shoot a video. You could either just do a continuous speed, and just show me striking out on all these vans and houses that I'm checking. Or you could just chunk it up and space it together. I feel like it'd probably be better just to keep pausing it. Feel free to leave a comment about that if you think that that's not the way to go. Like I said, this is my first video. This is the start of my gaming channel, and I encourage you all to subscribe and follow my videos and leave some feedback so I can make it a really good one. And let me know what you guys think. But I'm going to go ahead and pause this until I can find an area with some more supplies so we can look at the base building aspect of this game. So see you in a few.